Hello and welcome to another open source live code hangout. Today, inspired by a conversation thread in Hacker News, I've decided to come back around to the Sustainable Urban Design app, which I don't believe I've done any live streaming on this channel, but I have a dedicated channel to this project on YouTube. I'm going to merge any future developments into this channel. I'm going to just have one unified live code presence on the web while I'm able to do this work. The Sustainable Urban Design project is a web application, and it's inspired by video games like SimCity and City Skylines that are very user-friendly, fun to play, they're engaging. And so that user experience has inspired people to create and explore lots of urban design patterns and ideas. Conversely, the tools in the geospatial and urban design industry are usually designed for people with heavy academic backgrounds, maybe specialized in computer-aided design and drafting tools. They're not so user-friendly necessarily, or inspiring like a video game interface. So admittedly, there's trade-offs, and those tools are purpose-built and designed to be very powerful and flexible. But I believe there's a middle way, a middle ground, to enable people to explore urban design ideas and see their impact in a way that gets immediate feedback. The goal here is to help people envision, help people visualize any inadequacies in the current urban environment, such as neighborhoods that don't have access to a walking distance grocery store, or a bus stop, for example. Maybe you have to walk 15 minutes to the bus rather than 5 or 10 like some neighborhoods. By identifying these sore spots, we can then suggest treatments, a way of helping improve that situation, and maybe putting that plan into action. On the other side, of people who are planning a move and want to move to a neighborhood that has amenities that they know are important, like bus stops and grocery store. Well, to my knowledge, there's not really a tool that helps us see, from our perspective, the needs in the neighborhood, neighborhoods that have those qualities that we desire. So that's the higher level goal of this project. We're open source on GitHub. Everything right now is in a state of dormancy. I haven't really worked on the code for several years, but that's okay. I just kind of burnt out on this project. I'd like to get it jump started a little bit, add some turmoil in my life, and I made a decision at that time to kind of put this project down to focus my bandwidth on relationships and work and things like that. I've got a little more bandwidth now, but I don't want to risk spreading myself too thin. So I always need to be sensitive to that. Nonetheless, I think there are some really simple things we can do today to just revitalize this project a bit. Taking down the link to I think the website is no longer even registered. I don't have the domain name anymore, do I? Oh, I do. Wow. Very cool. I'm gonna have to redo the website. Putting a couple of use cases up top of the README, checking our dependencies, running some updates in the Python dependencies. I believe we have some JSON, JavaScript dependencies as well. I might have split those out. Inspector sidebar, this looks like it. No, I don't know, but let's go ahead and just dive in to the code. So I've got the code cloned locally. Website notebooks. It's a monolith. I think I was just using Vue.js to progressively enhance the user interface, the client-side server-rendered HTML, which is a nice way that Vue doesn't need you to have to commit fully to a front-end framework or paradigm or build process or any of that. You can just sprinkle it into some existing JavaScript. I think I would like to consider sticking that direction, or maybe steer the project towards Flutter user interface and subsequent efforts. Let's just go ahead and take a look around a little bit. We'll create a branch here, project stewardship. Maintenance. Yeah, actually, I should check these pull requests. Oh boy. Probably a lot of them are just dependencies. Dependabot. So I'm going to run all these. Oh, no, Django 3.2 is waiting for review. I'd like to get us running at Django 4. I see they're splitting out our settings, and all right. So let's see. Interesting. So this will have implications on how we deploy. Okay. Which makes sense. Have a safe default. You could even, well, we're using Postgres with the PostGIS extensions. All right. We'll go with it. Async. Really? All right. Settings for WebSocket support. Okay. See what's breaking with this, but dang. Wow. Committing to Redis and things like that. If. Okay. a lot of configuration. I think overall it looks good. Wonder what we would use WebSockets for, though. We don't have a use case yet. Wow, sure. Cool. All right, just swapping out. Okay, yeah. So we're not using package manager. We're gonna just place it there. Yeah, nice. Okay. Although, yeah, so I was probably using. Well, this is probably dangerous. This is dangerous anyway. SQL injection. What's this select? But yeah, nonetheless. Oh, of course, it's SQL injection would potentially override the semantics. I don't know. We'll look at that. They parameterized it basically. All right. So we can select different types of amenities. Yeah, makes sense. These are making sense. A lot of these changes, aside from WebSockets. But hey, if they're already doing this potentially heavy work, might as well embrace that. Import CyclePG. So just isort. sure about this. What's causing this pull request to not pass the continuous integration for one thing, and does it run? Okay, this is good. Corresponding migration. I just don't know what it is. Simple question. It's not too. Not trying to criticize necessarily. I'm just trying to understand. Right. I think this is good work though, when it points out that I can't just upgrade the dependencies. The Django core update won't go forward, and this is more comprehensive than what I was even thinking about. So that's good. Migrations. All right, so hard coding it. Nice. I think, centering it on like Tombra or something like that. Yeah, this is good. It's good. Okay, and then interesting. Not sure we can localize this if we use the value in code, but I'll have to see how they did that, because then if we have a conditional, or is that just UI text? It's been so long since I've written this code. Just checking the chat. Oh, it's this origin. This is coming from their own, isn't it? All right, can't. Huh. Can check it out. Dang it. This is a really good work. So full stack engineering work here. They're having a high level awareness of what's going on in Django, with even differences in Django 3.2. Which is weird. What are we pinned at? I thought we released Django. Yeah, 3. Huh. That looks good to me. I mean, wow. Even a little bit of, it's kind of out of the scope of the change, refactoring. Refactoring just means not really changing the functionality. This is actually changing the behavior, but this is nice. we almost need to go over this for Django 4. I think this is just so the account login is centered or something. All right. Huh. It's quite a big change, man. I think we'll try to deprecate jQuery. Interesting. We're mixing our localization base language, because this will get folded into the English. Must be using S, doesn't it? These are starting into the territory of blocking, and then refactoring this. This is quite extensive. Beta blocking, basically. We're setting up The switch to all auth is good. I believe we didn't have it previously. Maybe I'm mistaken. I can't remember. It's been so long in this project. I think overall these are really mostly good changes. I just don't want to change too much behavior in a refactor, meaning we should keep the behavior relatively the same and just upgrade the dependencies. These are all right. Splitting these format. This is a refactor. The behavior stays the same, more or less, but we just have better code architecture, perhaps, like having these separate classes. That one seems okay. Here we go. Okay. Totally deleted that. Now, and I'm thinking about switching to poetry anyway, so I'm not going to battle that. Django 3. Yeah. So, and let me just check this real quick. If we're using all before, I just can't remember. Yeah, we were. Okay. And the local text. I think these changes to the requirements text are going to be made obsolete or unnecessary if I switch this project to poetry package manager. I mean, ideally we could use just regular pip, but makes it kind of difficult. Like the whole concept of virtual machines is already difficult, but nonetheless it makes it or virtual environments, it makes it a bit difficult to update dependencies and find cross-compatibility with dependencies. Poetry is not a perfect solution by any means. I think there's another emerging solution among the few that even dispenses with virtual environments and still might help us when maintaining dependencies, finding the constraints when upgrading dependencies so that they're all cross-compatible. Nonetheless, yeah, we do want to start using MyPy across this. And Django stubs. These are though changes to the developer flow. I don't think we had introduced those earlier in the project. I mean, it's good stuff though. I do admit we should be adhering to all of these, most of the best practices there from the cookie cutter Django. Yeah. Sorry for the delay in reviewing. I think it was marked as in progress. I can't remember what the status was. And it's got conflicts that have to be resolved as well. Quite a big pull request. Beginning migration. Beginning, I think, was implied there. These are good updates. All right, well, I'm gonna have to take a break now and get on to some other work, but looks like we're going to be able to revitalize this project a little bit, get it in better shape if there are community contributors who want to help carry it forward. I do need help. I can't commit to being the sole developer of this scale of a project. It's kind of big. Geospatial stuff is already complicated than dealing with complexities of web mapping, JavaScript front-end frameworks, or potentially Flutter or something like that. Nonetheless, just the scope of the technologies and the ambition of the project was a bit much for a single maintainer, single contributor. Although I do want to highlight, we did have we have had several contributors, so I'm not trying to take the sole credit for this project, but it's more coming from the perspective of a single core maintainer. I welcome other people to join the Sustainable Urban Design GitHub organization. It's definitely open for membership, and this project is open for stewardship to take it in many directions beyond what my initial vision was. But nonetheless, I need to get this into a minimum viable working project with up-to-date dependencies to even demonstrate the idea. Well, thanks again for checking out this live code hangout. I hope you're doing well and look forward to seeing you around the open source community.